All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? How you doing? Listen, thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and coming on back. I do appreciate you as always. Check it out on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast from. Share it, do all of that stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Put in some comments if you want to. I did get a funny comment this morning. Actually, I got and I guess it was an old podcast based on the shirt I was wearing, and this person wrote, "Oh, I wasted I couldn't get through a minute or whatever. It was the worst minute of my life or whatever. I wasted a minute of my life." And I just wrote back, the first minute is just promoting shows. So why would you? Is that your mentality? Like, you can't, like, you must not do a lot of reading, right? You open up a book and you're like, Penguin, this is published by Penguin. What? This is the worst book I've ever read. Fling. Mentality. Anyway, I like comments like that. Put your comments in there, man. Give us a go, you know what I mean? Also, come see me live. Come see me live this week in New Jersey. I'm coming back to Uncle Vinny's on September 11th, never forget. And September 12th, I'm down at Uncle Vinny's. And in November, and again, in between, I got a bunch of shows. Comic strip, Cellar, West Side, Gotham. I'm all over the gaff. But November 8th and 9th, I'm coming back to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Mohegan Sun Casino. I'm excited to go back there. Is my microphone on? Let me see. Yes, it is. I'm excited to go back up there. I love that casino. Love that room. This is my first time in the new room. I was watching the last comic in their big room. So now they have, so I'll be doing 3 shows, I believe, instead of 2. So, yeah, come see me on the 8th and the 9th of November, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, November. It's the fall. We're coming into Thanksgiving. It's going to be a blast, man. I can't wait. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you're probably looking, why is he dressed like a priest? I just realized that as I sat down. It wasn't intentional. I guess I should have wore a white V-neck t-shirt instead of a regular V-neck t-shirt on a black shirt. But I guess I'm wearing black because I guess I'm in mourning. We did have a death in the family this weekend, and I appreciate everybody's kindness and understanding. Some people sent some nice kind words, and respecting the fact that I wasn't online or on social media that much. So it was a bit the kids took it tough. It was very, very hard on the kids. When a loved one is lost, and we're getting through it. So I appreciate everybody's respect during this time, this grief. But that's what life is, isn't it? Like you lose, and new life comes in, new life goes, and it's just you have to be prepared for that at any moment. That life is precious. And all life is precious, and you just don't know. So when you're around somebody, make the most of it. Life is too short. Life is too short for any kind of grudges and that kind of stuff. So what I'll say is, we're going to miss Grim the Gecko. So yeah, he's gone. I had to dig a hole, put him in a shoebox, and bury him. So it was a rough day yesterday. It's a big funeral. I wanted to do a Viking funeral. Kids didn't want to do it. I was just going to put him on a little piece of board, right? Just send him down the river and shoot a little tiny flaming arrow at him. Send him up. Go out in style. I don't know where lizards go when they die. I don't. A lot of people can't comprehend that. I don't think the Bible addresses the animals don't really go to heaven, but some people don't. Well, my cat's going to heaven. I don't know if that's true, but I wanted to send Grim out, on a Viking funeral. That wasn't good enough, and what can you do? We had a nice burial, and that was it. He's buried under a tree, which we now call the Grim tree, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there you go. Circle of life, as they say. So, what did I want to talk about today? Well, again, I'm going to try to, of course, avoid politics at all costs as we steamroll up to election times. Let me see, where am I going with time? Because I know I got to be somewhere. All right, we're good. Oh, by the way, I will have a lot of stuff. If you're not following me on social media, Mick Thomas Comedy on everything, Instagram, Facebook, which I'm still I'm banned from Facebook now until I think after the election, which is weird. Seriously, like literally up until 4 days after the election. And a friend of mine said that because he works with big tech, and he was like, yeah, if you talk anything negative about the current administration, and I do both of them, I put jokes up about both sides, what they will do is they're trying to ban you. So now they don't want me posting up anything or coming back on pro pages of anyone. Pro, I guess the Democrats. If you do up anything with pro Democrats now, if you go against them, they shut your account down until after the election because they don't want people. Because I argue with a few humorous jokes, but I also put up facts. I like to put up facts. You know, facts and figures. That's just what I do, and that's the best way to argue with somebody is just by giving them facts. And you know, like for example, like again, this is not really political. This is kind of something about where we are in this world right now, where we are. And if you think this doesn't affect you here in America, or I see it already in Europe. So for my fans and friends listening in Europe, I learned a lot of Ireland listen, a lot of UK listens. You know, there is. So I don't know if you like last week I believe it was, or the week before in Afghanistan, because we know that the Taliban are ruling Afghanistan. They now pass some laws that you think I'd be on board with, by the way. Like, this is the weird thing about it. Everyone's like, wow, Mick, you're a chauvinistic person from time to time based on some of your jokes that you've said on this very show. No, I'm not really as much. You think I would be behind this, though? So the Taliban have now changed some of their laws towards you. Ladies, number one, you're not allowed to talk anymore in public. Outside. Now, once you leave your house, zip it. Right? Zip it shut. That's it. No talking to anybody. Anybody. Especially not a male, right? So that's fine. That's rule number one of the Taliban. No talking when you leave your house. Rule number two, you have to be completely covered. Right? You have to be completely covered. So when you had the little male slot that they used to have in the eyes, when they used to wear the whole burqa thing. And by the way, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Mick, this is what their culture has always been. No, it ain't. Go back and look at Afghanistan women in the 1970s. Go look, knee-high skirts, elbows showing. They're showing their elbows like floozies. Right? That was porn back then. Bit of elbow porn. You know what I mean? You never used to have that conversation. You know the way a conversation you have with your friends. Hey, man, do you like boobs or do you like butts? Back then they would have, what are you, man, an elbow or a knee, man? Right? I'll be honest with you, I would be a bit of an elbow man. I like to nibble on an elbow, right? You're like, oh, you saucy minx, get those elbows out. You go to strip clubs and girls just walk around with their elbows and their knees hanging out and you just be flinging, I don't know what they're used over there for money. Probably like shit, goat shit, right? They're just throwing whatever, you know, stickers. You know, like you get a sticker from like a football albums, like soccer albums. Oh, you know, need it, got it, swaps, and you get whatever they had used for money over there back then in the 70s. But yeah, and they would have, the women would be stripping, showing their elbows and knees. Very saucy country. But women could do that, hair all out, or face out. They could talk to who they want. They could become doctors, judges, lawyers, right? They could even drive. Not a fan of that. Not a big fan of that one. That's one I think I draw the line on, is them driving. But however, you know what? It ain't my country. I don't get to rule it. I don't get to pick it. But yeah, all these women, you could go out there flashing those even ankles for the really rated R stuff, you know? But it was very, very liberal part of the world. So now you can't come, well, Mick, that's the culture. Because that's what some people, they argue. Like, I got two like super democratic friends and their arguments are fucking stupid all the time. And it's like, well, they got it's just part of their culture. No, it ain't. Go back and look at like exactly what I said in the 70s, right? So now they can't talk in public. They can't show any body part whatsoever, not even their eyes anymore. So now you're going to have a bunch of people outside, women walking behind their husbands. They can't go out without their husband, by the way, just bumping into shit, right? Maybe I should sell these to them, right? Mick Thomas cheaper than therapy glasses. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Because I used to have a manager. I'm a manager. Also, Mick, you need merchandise. You got to start selling merchandise. People are asking me for it. I don't want to sell. I don't want to do it. I just feel cheap after a show, standing there with a table, watching people walk by. I just don't want to sell merch. Some comics do it. Fair play to you. More power to you. It's not me, you know. But maybe now I could do that. Mick Thomas cheaper than therapy glasses. Send it over to Afghanistan. Right? There you go. I'll sign them for you. You're not talking to me. You're not allowed to talk to another man. That would be crazy. Get a bit of a stoning for that. Get a bit of a stoning. And what a weird punishment too, a stoning. Can we not in this day and age think of something more fitting as a punishment? Do you know what I mean? Like now I gotta go out and get rocks. Now I gotta go carry rocks, and they wear sandals. So what if you go? You're gonna go out. I'm gonna get a rock and I'm gonna throw it at the missus, right? You know, she rolled her eyes at me. She rolled her eyes at me. She deserves a good rock in the back, right? And then you gotta go get a rock, and then you drop it on your sandal, right? You got sandal feet. You drop a rock on a toe. Now you're gonna be even more, and now you're gonna take your bad toe out on her when she didn't deserve it. She only deserved that stoning for her eye roll, and she did not deserve it because you were clumsy, Ahmed, and dropped it on your foot. All right, and that's why I'm against that. I'm against all that. You know, if you're going to stone them, sure, for rolling their eyes, how dare they roll their eyes? But if you drop your rock, Ahmed, that you were going to throw her, it's not her fault. Send her out to get her own rock if you think so. Right? You hear those people say, oh, my grandmother used to make me go and get a switch. Oh, I don't even know what a switch is, by the way. That's an American thing. Oh, go get a switch. If it's a stick, say a fucking stick. And you would go out and the grandmother would make you get your stick and you hand it to her and she'd beat you. Do that. Do that, Ahmed. Send her out to get her own rock. Anyway, so that's... Can't show your eyes unless you saw Mick Thomas cheaper than therapy glasses available to you ladies out there in Afghanistan. I mean, you can't use a computer to order it, but talk to your man about it. Maybe on, I don't know what one of your holidays are, Holy High Goat Day, and just ask him, hey, Holy High Goat Day is coming up. Any chance I could get a pair of those Mick Thomas cheaper than therapy sunglasses? You're not allowed on technology, so you're probably not even listening to this. Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, men listening to that in Afghanistan, because I do have some listeners in Afghanistan, get your missus these Mick Thomas cheaper than therapy glasses. Going fast, by the way. They're going fast. So that's that one. Also, women, they're not going to be educated anymore, right? They're not, no more education, ladies, right? So you can forget that. You're not, no more read. Don't worry, no more reading and writing. That's great. No technology, no reading, writing. So far, man, you don't have to talk to anybody. You know how terrible it is to go downtown? That's what we say in Ireland. I went downtown. Like, you go to your street and walk around, and you're like, oh, fuck, here comes this guy. You got to talk to him now. Not anymore. You're like, oh, I'd love to talk to you, Pat. I'd love to stop and hear about how your mother's doing. Afghanistan. Oh, what can you do? Right? So there's that. So you got that going for you. Maybe it's not that bad. So no talking, no technology, no reading. Right? Just sit at home, no reading. That's awesome. Isn't it? And then you don't, and because you're not allowed to work, right? You're not allowed. So if you go to the doctor, right? Oh, I got a problem with, what's wrong with you? Well, my left tit feels a bit bigger than my right tit. That's weird. That never happens. But actually, it's quite normal that one lady's breast is bigger than the other's breast. You can't find out anymore. Because you know why? Because only the doctors are men, and men cannot talk to you. Even doctors. So you can't even go to a doctor if you're feeling one tit is bigger than the other tit. If you have a cold, if a virus, if you're having some sort of weird woman problems that I've read about in a book once, you can't do anything about it. You can't go to the doctor. No doctors for you, right? You can't do that. You're out of your mind if you think you're going to a doctor. So that's no education. So we got all that. So top of the list, no going outside without your man. Got to cover from head to toe. You can't speak to another person when you're out in public. You can't show your eyes. I think I said that twice already. You can't read. You're not allowed to read. Not allowed to use technology. And you're not allowed to go to the doctor if you're sick. Not if you go to the doctor if you're sick, right? Now, what do we do with all that, of course? Oh, the best one. Save the best for last, by the way. Ladies, this is it. This one's for you. Are you ready? Just when you thought all the things couldn't get any better for you, here's what happens. You can now get married when you're 5. Isn't that great? 5 years old, you can get married. Your dad can sell you off at 5 years old to be married. It's like, when you go, every little girl's dream is to get married. Well, now you can right away. You go, Dada. Dada, I want to get married. Right? Oh, that's so funny, my dear. Because guess what? My old friend who works down the factory with me, who's 62 years old, who hasn't showered in 40 fucking months. Look at his dirty sandals. Look at that. His beard has got weird hookah smell in it. Right? He's got 5 teeth and they're all rotten out of his head. You know the ones I'm talking about. He's your new husband. Wrap your shit up and get out of my house. You can do that now. 5 years old. So you're so... That's amazing, ladies. That's amazing. That's amazing. And who's paying for all this, by the way? Who pays for all this? Great news, America. Great news, America. You are. You're paying for this. All your tax money goes to them. How do you know that, Mick? Well, again... go on to Google. It's going to be hard to find it on Google because we all know Google is like a left-leaning kind of search engine. So you got to do a few clicks down. $239 million accidentally sent to the Taliban last month. $239 million accidentally sent to the Taliban. I have many questions on that. Number one, what are the Taliban going to do with that $239 million? I'm assuming stock up on goats, right? We are having a sale on goats, my friends. This goat, blue goat, white goat, green goat, right? I'm assuming they're going to, right? So what are they doing with the $239 million? Second question I have to ask, how did you accidentally send money to the Taliban? I went out for dinner with a comedian friend of mine. We're in South Carolina, Vikram. I mentioned him on my podcast. I went out, I was only planning on going for a walk, so I didn't bring me wallet. We get to a place and Vikram says, you know what, we might as well have dinner here. I go, Vikram, that's a good idea, but I ain't bring me wallet, mate. Vikram says, in an Indian accent, that's okay, my friend. I will pay for dinner and you can Venmo me the money. And I did, right? So I would go on. Do you know how hard it is to Venmo somebody? I got to find Vikram. What do you want to do? Do you want to put it... What do you want to put in there? What's the reason why? We went for lunch. Do you want people publicly to see it? Yeah. Are you sure this is the right amount? Yeah. It's coming from this account. Okay, I got it. 12 steps for me to send $11.86 to Vikram for our dinner at Senior Frogs in Myrtle Beach. So how do you, the Biden and Harris administration, how do you accidentally send $239 million? You don't think your bank is going, hang on a second, mate. I couldn't send $12 fucking dollars to Vikram. And you're trying to tell me your bank doesn't go, oh, hang on a second, mate. $239 million here, and it's going to the Taliban. How do you have the Taliban's information? How do you have their routing number and not their address and send the drone over and blow them to fucking smithereens? Baffled. Right? How did that happen? That's what you're doing. $240 million to the Taliban. But guess what? If you're in Maui and your house burned to the fucking ground and you lost everything, loved ones included, don't worry, we got your back. 700 bills. That's for you. Go on. Go ahead. No. Keep it. Don't tell your mother I gave you that. That's what my Nanny Connolly used to say. My nanny, I used to go visit her in Enniscorthy in Wexford, Nanny Connolly. And I would always walk up and go, all right, Nanny, we're going to get the train home now. Love you. You look great. Good seeing you again, all that. And she would give me a 20 pence piece. There you go. Take that. Don't tell your ma I gave you that. No, Nanny, I don't want it because my ma would smack the head off me for taking money off my nanny because she didn't have any. Go on. Don't tell your ma I gave you that. Thanks, Nanny. Right? That's how we treated you people in Maui, didn't they? In Maui, they just went, there you go, $700. Go on, get out of here. Go on. No, you earned that money. Some of your family members drowned running from the flames. Others are still crispy. You earned that money. We care about you. We are the Biden-Harris administration. Right? This is what we do with taxpayers' money. Right? Oh, if I could give you more, I certainly would. We're too busy sending $240 million to the Taliban to go over there and just really fucking annihilate all women. But we got good news. We got good news about that, right? So here's what inspired me about what happened. I was a little bit inspired about what happened. So I got someone. Technology. I got someone in here. So if you watch this on YouTube, you're going to see this on my screen. I finally got good at this. So can we show on the screen, please? When all the people who read about this, right, who were outraged, it was across the world. When people found out, and it was great, when people found out what was happening, that the Taliban were doing this to poor women, poor girls, innocent women, innocent girls. Right? They were outraged. Watch this. Here's a clip of all the protests in New York. And show the picture, please. Show the picture. Can you bring up the picture, please? There's no picture of people protesting in New York? Okay. I must have read it wrong. My fault. Bring up Berlin. Bring up the protests in Berlin. There you go. Sure, look, there's Berlin. Where's the Berlin? There was no protests in Berlin. There had to have been protests in Berlin. Are you sure? London. Here we go. And London. Watch this. Look at this. No London. What you go? Right, Columbia University. Bring up on this side. Columbia University. Watch these protests. Watch these people who are outraged. Watch this. You ready? Go. Show me the. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Put up the pictures. You've one fucking job is to put the pictures up of these protests. Oh, there was no protest. Oh, there was no protest. I assumed all the feminists would have been outraged. I assume all the people who, you know, my body, my choice people. I thought you guys would be fucking just livid. Couldn't get to work today, boss. Why are you late, Stephen? Well, there's a whole march out on the highways. The my body, my choice people are out because what's going on in Afghanistan? Nothing. Nothing from the UN. Nothing from the White House. Just go about your fucking day, ladies. Go about your fucking day. Because you know what we do? We pick and choose. We get to pick and choose about what we're enraged about, don't we? If it suits us, we're upset today. We are really, really upset today. What are you mad about? Well, they're going to take away our abortions. That's what they're trying to do. Is that your priority? You don't care about nothing. So that's where you're outraged. Again, this is not me being pro anything. I'm not giving you my political or my faith opinions on any of this kind of stuff. I'm not judging anybody. But that's where your opinions go. Got it. You're not outraged. It's amazing what we're not outraged about. Right? I'll give you some statistics, by the way. So we're letting these people in from Afghanistan. These men are coming over to Afghanistan who have and it's by this next part of the show, and I'm going to wrap it up on this, is nothing to do with my Muslim friends, Muslim people. It's nothing to do with that. It's about Muslims who are trying to enforce Sharia law. Look up Sharia law. It's fucking terrifying. And there's stories in the UK of how you get arrested for going on Twitter, Facebook by saying how bad Sharia law is and protesting against the government for allowing this to take place. You will watch people, an 80-year-old nan get arrested. But let's talk about in America right now, right? So let's talk about, and again, this immigration problem that we're having. Since the immigration problem, since we let in 22 that we know of, illegal immigrants, let's go look at some statistics. Murder is up 1,500%. I had a math teacher. I can never wrap my head around this. My math teacher, I never forget it, Shamey O'Leary, Pat Lanigan. They said to me, no such thing as, once you hit 100%, you can't go higher than 100%. The maximum of anything is 100%. He was wrong. He was 100% wrong because now 1,500% of murders have gone up. But that's how many. That's how many murders have gone up in the US alone. Burglaries up 254%. All right. Sex crimes 207%. It's gone up 200%. Now a sex crime, that's a bit vague. We don't define a sex crime, right? I am bad in bed. By definition, I am a sex criminal, right? Some of the things I've done in bed, like, that's not nice. That's just, you're useless at that. Stop doing it. You should be arrested on how bad you are at doing that. I would be labeled a sex criminal. And assault is up 160%. Up 160%, right? In the last year alone. But we have, our statement comes out from up top, from the big guys in the White House, particularly this one, the new one running for president. She says, an undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. There you go. Now, of course, I am not saying undocumented immigrants are all criminals. First of all, they are. Because if you're in the country illegally, it's illegal. It's called trespassing. You're not allowed to be here, right? You would be considered a criminal. But I'm not in any way hinting that all migrants and immigrants are criminals whatsoever, me being one. But all those statistics are up since they got here. Again, not all of them, but thank you for the ones who have helped raise our numbers up, because it's the first thing I think I've seen in the Biden and Harris administration where things did go up. So you are doing a great job. Anyway, listen, I gotta go. That's it. It's Sunday morning and I plan on enjoying it and mourning the death of Grim, R.I.P. Grim. Listen, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing and coming on back. I do appreciate it as always. Subscribe and do all of that stuff. And listen, take care of yourselves, and I will see you this week in New Jersey. Looking forward to it. And as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.